Hey guys, Sean here from the Cherished Tree Sawmill in southern Ontario. Um, Today I want to talk to you guys about cottonwood, eastern cottonwood to be more specific. Um, this summer I got a couple logs that came into the sawmill and I wasn't sure what to do with them. I heard a lot of people talk about cottonwood and say, it's just junk wood. If you get the logs, it's not even worth your time sawing. They will snake on you like crazy when you go to dry them. So it's best just to pull them logs out, put them back to the bush, let them rot down, or find a burn pile for them. But I thought I would try them out. Cottonwood's actually fairly plentiful in our area, so I thought if I could try it and make use of those boards, even for for fences. Wood for fences or some siding on a shed and see how it turned out. Now, from what I'm hearing, it doesn't like to get wet. So if you do use it outside at all, um, try to keep it up out of the water and make sure it's in a dry area. The more research I've done on cottonwood is apparently it has been used a fair bit in constructions of barns where it can stay dry. It's it's not very hard. I'll show you here in the book that it's fairly low on the hardness scale, but it does have pretty decent elasticity. So um, from my understanding, it'll flex a bit and it won't crack or break quite as easily as some other woods. So let's take a look at some of the facts on cottonwood, and then after what I did is this summer I did saw up those logs and um, I put them through the drying process. A lot of people told me that they would really warp and snake during the drying process, and I'll show you what we did with it. We just tried a little experiment to see how it would work. So anyway, I'll take you through some facts and figures here before we go out to the shop. So this is the wood book by I think it's Eric Meyer. I think it is. This is kind of my main go-to source for wood information. So if we go to the Eastern Cottonwood, I know I'm going to have a bit of a glare here for you guys, so I'll try to. Um, so you can see the tree. The trees are very large. You know, they can grow up to 165 feet. Um, Really good trunk diameter. You get some actually probably larger trunks than you want to work with on on a bandsaw mill, but they range from 4 to 6 here. It says you can see the hardness factor there, though. I will. You can see it's 430, and if we go up to our, this poster ranks woods by hardness to the continent. And so in North America, this is the North America section. North America says the hardest wood that we have is called the desert ironwood. And it's a little over 3,000 on the Janka scale. But today we're looking at the cottonwood, which is all the way down here. Where is it? Eastern Cottonwood. Where are you? Right here. Right here. And yeah, you can see it's around 400, 430. And that is about actually the least hardwood is balsam poplar. And cottonwood is about 14 from the bottom. So you have pines that are ahead of cottonwood. So cottonwood is actually classified as a hardwood, but we have softwoods that's actually harder than the cottonwood. So so some of the other things they say about cottonwood is It talks about the appearance, rot resistance. They call it non-durable, so it doesn't like getting wet. They say it works easily. I would say I sometimes it does work easily, but you do run into some times where it cuts quite hard. It does like to fuzz up when you're working it, and it does like to burn. So there's some other things, comments about it where it says it's not cottonwood is generally regarded as a low valued wood and isn't commonly available as lumber. So I think they use a lot for crating, not a lot for lumber use. Apparently, it also says here as a note in, I'm trying to read and hold the camera, it's kind of hard, but the pioneers on the Oregon Trail would look for the cottonwood tree because it was a really good shade tree. It was easy to cut and make firewood out of it, and it usually signified that there was water close by if they had a cotton tree growing. It really likes its water. So cottonwood is a poplar, okay? It's in the Populus, I can't pronounce that, but you can see it. That's the species. Where there's a lot of confusion because if we go to yellow poplar is actually not a poplar species. There's the Latin for yellow poplar. Yellow poplar is also often called tulip tree or tulip wood, and actually it's that's the species of it, which is I think that word is Latin for it says Latin for lily tree. So that's actually yellow poplar, which a lot of people just commonly call it poplar or tulip wood, but it's not actually a poplar species, whereas cottonwood is. So let's go out to the shop here, and I'll show you some of the wood we've got in the rack here. This is our lumber rack. So here's the cottonwood that I cut this summer, and it's been through the drying process, and you can see it's laying pretty flat. It's lays pretty good, has a nice grain to it. Cottonwood that I noticed what I cut this summer did have a lot of there was a lot of areas where it was quite curly. It had a lot of curl to it. I don't think this board shows any of the curl, but some really nice figure on some of the cottonwood. It had a really nice curl to it, and the problem with those areas though is when they did dry, they did like to really take off and move on you. So was a fair bit of warping. It took, it moves more than other woods when you dry. I will say that. It definitely moves more than other woods. So let's go to the shop area. So the shop area, this is actually heated here. So first thing I'll show you is I got a scrap piece of cottonwood right here. So this was this is the wood we were working out of, and if you notice here, there's a fair bit of movement there. It moved quite a bit from just taking it out of an unheated area to a heated area. So what we had to do is if I would get a board like this sitting there where it cupped like this, I would just turn it over, and it would actually come back quite a bit by just being exposed to the warmer air on this side, and it would pull back a bit. So it did take a little bit of extra sanding and extra flattening on this wood, but it wasn't too bad. And I'll show you the project here. This is just a couple shop cabinets I made to store some supplies here in the shop. So this is how the Cottonwood turned out as a project. So we did raised panel doors, and you can see, you know, it made decent wood for a project. Actually, quite nice grain. This is just an armor seal on this. I know the light's not the best to show on the camera here, but we just put one coat of armor seal on it, and it did. You can see some of the curl there. There's a bit of curl there, and there's a bit of curl on this. You can see a bit of curl on that face frame. So I think if that was stained, that would bring that curl up quite a bit more. But it's a nice grained wood. It's a kind of a you know, not a lot of depth to the grain. The grain's fairly straight, but it is. I found it's harder to work than most woods, but it still was workable. I don't know if I wouldn't call it a junk wood. I would call it a, you know, a good utility wood that, you know, it does have a purpose for woodworking, I think. It's a lot less expensive than a lot of the hardwoods that we stock here. So I guess going forward, if I get a chance to get a hold of some cottonwood logs, I would probably go through the process again of sawing them up and trying to keep some lumber in here. It is a low-cost alternative to a lot of the woods. So I hope this video helps you guys. Any of you guys that are thinking of maybe having an opportunity to saw up some cottonwood, you can see what it's kind of like. You can see that it is workable for projects. My understanding, it's also really good for carving. So that might be another option. You block it up and you sell carving blocks out of it. So anyway, guys, I hope this helps. And if you run into that cottonwood log, don't be so quick to just discard it or throw it in the burn pile. Then you can saw it up and make some decent projects out of it. Okay, guys, we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.